Ah, Con Crunch, the beloved time leading up to the convention that you've waited so long for. The excitement, the thrill, the heart palpitations, the constant drowning in hot glue, fabric, and foam dust. Just kidding. Recently, I attended a con where I had pulled the crunchiest con crunch that I've ever crunched. Say that 5 times fast. And this experience has really made me want to reflect and share some things that I learned and realized along the way. But before we get started, hi, I'm Yizzy Pop. I'm a cosplayer, an artist, and a creator. I love making videos related to cosplay, the cosplay community, art, horror, gaming, etc. I try to post about once a week, keyword try, because I have stuff in life going on. But if you like these kinds of videos, please consider checking out my channel and subscribing for more videos like this in the future. Okay, let's get into it. If you cannot already tell, I'm dressed as one of my favorite characters from Haikyuu once again, Kyoko Shimizu, and I am repping my, you can't really see it, my Fandomaniacs t-shirt. I'm not in her usual cosplay outfit, but I'm doing more of a cozy, comfy look today. Okay, the actual definition of con crunch is a time-sensitive period of intense preparation for a convention, often involving the creation of cosplays, props, or other materials. Little insight on my con crunch experience: I was preparing for a convention called DreamHack. This was my first time going, and I believe it is a gaming convention, and honestly, I had the best time because I've been getting to games a lot more recently. Do I consider myself an intense gamer? No. But I did have a lot of fun, and I will definitely be going again next year. Anyways, I had technically four cosplays to prepare for that weekend. I was cosplaying Huntress on Friday, Luna Snow on Saturday, and then Psylocke on Sunday. But I was also preparing my partner's cosplay for Friday as well, because we were matching Huntress and Trapper from Dead by Daylight. Now, I could just sit here and tell you, prepare better. Don't procrastinate. But Con Crunch to me is a canon event. Obviously, if you really wanted to, you don't have to. You can be a super smart human being and prepare a cosplay months in advance and then be ready to go the weekend of. Or you could just wear cosplays that you already have that are already finished for that weekend. However, I'm going to be talking about specifically people like me, where Con Crunch is kind of a canon event. Because we all have lives outside of cosplay. We have jobs, school, family, other obligations. Sometimes we can't always dedicate preparing our cosplays months in advance. And I just wanted to give a few tips that helped me, or things that I picked up on that I would probably do differently in the future. My first tip would be to make a list. This one's kind of a no-brainer, but making a list for your cosplays will help you keep track of everything you need to do for each individual cosplay. I don't know what it is about checklists and checking something off that gives me that dopamine or makes me feel like I'm being productive, that I'm accomplishing something. I don't know what it is, but sometimes having a physical list where you can check things off and keep track of what all you need to do kind of helps. The second tip I have is prioritizing your cosplay tasks accordingly. It's really up to you how you want to prioritize it. At the beginning of my Con Crunch, I started out with styling my Luna Snow wig because it was one of the things that I was most worried about, and I wanted to give myself enough time in case I had messed up and I wanted to reorder the wig, and I didn't want it to be something that I put off till the last minute to stress about. Overall, I wanted to give myself the most time to do that in case I messed up. But then as I went along, continuing working on things for Luna Snow, I kind of made a realization, and as it got closer and closer to the con, I realized that I didn't really do anything yet for Huntress and Trapper. And I was wearing, or my partner and I were wearing Huntress and Trapper on Friday, and I was wearing Luna on Saturday. I kind of rewired my thinking a little bit, because if I didn't finish Huntress and Trapper by Friday, then I would have nothing to wear. And if I didn't finish Luna Snow by Friday, I could continue working on her the night before Saturday, which would be Friday night, and I would still have some time to do last minute touch-ups. So basically what I'm saying is you could, as an option, prioritize your cosplays in the order of the days that you're wearing them, but it's really up to you, because my brain made me want to get the harder things out of the way, but it's really up to you, because the way my brain thought of it was that I wanted to get the harder / more intimidating things out of the way first, so that if I messed up, I had more time to either redo it or fix it rather than stressing about it the night before. Specifically, I'm not personally super confident in wig styling and sewing, and so I know that when I worked on my Luna Snow jacket, altering it and cropping it, I sat there for a good day fidgeting with my sewing machine, fixing all the threading bird nests in the bobbin, things like that. And I think if that had happened to me the day before the con, I would probably crash out and just not end up going. Whereas for prop making, I am a little bit more confident in myself / I more so enjoy prop making. And so during my con crunch, I had put off Huntress and Trapper, well, specifically their masks and weapons, towards the very end of my crunch, because I knew that I would have an easier time pulling it out last minute, and it wasn't necessarily something that I was more afraid of messing up on. So it really just depends. You know yourself best. Try to prioritize and organize things based off of what would be least stressful for you. My third tip is to try and keep your crafting space organized, and at the end of each crafting day, dedicate a little bit of time to tidy things up a little bit. I'm not saying it has to be super clean, but at least just take a little bit of extra time to declutter. For the last 3 days of my con crunch, my room was a mess. There was foam dust in my bathroom. There were strings of hot glue everywhere on the floor. It was a dumpster, like, actually. And if you're anything like me, being in a messy environment would contribute more to the stress that I was already experiencing. So one thing I would recommend is at the end of each crafting day, dedicate a little bit of time just to pick up a few things here and there to make your environment a little bit less cluttered. That way you can kind of alleviate your mind and feel a little bit more put together and organized. Tip number 4. Accuracy isn't everything. If you're getting a little bit too close to the con and you don't think you'll be able to finish everything, it's okay. Do not beat yourself up for not having every single detail down. If your cosplay is 85% complete, it's okay. You need to be able to know when to call it quits. Which leads me to my last tip: take care of yourself. I know this is a very obvious, no duh thing to say, but some of y'all will need to hear it from somebody else in order to start realizing how important it is. During the time period of your con crunch, you need to be eating, you need to be sleeping, showering, brushing your teeth. If you decide to get fast food for convenience a few times during your crunch, it's okay, but you just need to make sure that you are nourishing yourself and not neglecting your body. No amount of makeup, armor, or hairspray can hide how terrible you'll be feeling if you neglect yourself the entire week before the convention. I say this all hypocritically, but I say this all also as a reminder to myself, because I too forget to nourish my body, and I happen to neglect myself sometimes. But sometimes we just need to remember that cosplay isn't everything. Accuracy isn't everything. I always make the joke like, anything for the cosplay or anything for the shoot. But I don't actually mean that, because you need to take care of yourself. Put you, your safety, your health, and your well-being above all else. And that is my 2 cents of common sense. That doesn't make sense. 3 times a sense. Okay, now I want to talk about post-con recovery. You come home from a con, your space is a mess, you're exhausted, you've got the post-con blues. Here are some things that I'm going to personally try to incorporate into my post-con routine in order to rest, recover, and reflect on what a wonderful weekend that I had. Number 1 is to clean up your craft space. If you didn't already tidy up or you don't participate in the habit of cleaning your area every day of your crunch time, now is the time to get your space back to normal. After DreamHack, I spent an entire day deep cleaning my room and picking up all the leftover stuff that I had left from my con crunch. I also unpacked all of my cosplays and I washed them or cleaned them. I stored all of my props back into wherever I keep them. And for me, this was very therapeutic because as I was picking things up, like different pieces of fabric and all that, I was kind of reminiscing on my time and memories during my con crunch, and I kind of laugh looking back at how panicked I was, thinking that I wasn't gonna finish everything. And I don't know, it just kind of makes me happy thinking about all the hard work that I put in and how it all paid off. You know that scene from the movie To All the Boys I've Loved where Lara Jean finally cleans her bedroom? That's kind of how it was for me. Number 2, cleaning your makeup brushes. I feel like it's always a good idea to clean your makeup brushes after a con. Or I mean, clean them in general, of course, but you know, sometimes we forget. But after a weekend filled with probably rushed makeup application of potentially vibrant eyeshadow colors, your brushes deserve a good clean. Number 3, treat yourself to some good self-care. For me in particular, this involves doing a face mask and very in-depth skin and hair care. My skin in particular gets a bit of a beating after wearing a full face of makeup and potentially body paint for 3 days in a row. And then my hair being braided up super tight and shoved into a wig for 3 days in a row. My scalp is not breathing at that point. At that point, I owe myself a little scalp massage and a hair mask maybe. Overall, conventions are a great and fun time to see your friends, go out and cosplay, and just come together as a community to celebrate your love for fandom. But just remember to take good care of yourself and not neglect your body, your mind, or your well-being. Okay, that is all the tips that I have for you all today. I hope this video was a little bit insightful and helpful to somebody. If you like this video, please consider checking out my channel and maybe subscribing for more videos like this in the future. And if you have any other tips about con crunch or surviving con crunch and recovering from conventions, please drop them in the comments down below. And if you have any other video ideas or topics that you would like for me to talk about, please also drop them in the comments down below. And here are my other social medias. I am most active on Instagram, and it is probably where you will be seeing the most updates about what I will be posting on my channel. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next time.